Folks, remember you can find us at dramaticcinematic.com, and of course you can also listen to the show on Stitcher, look us up on iTunes, or you can also find us on Facebook, Dramatic Cinematic. Don't forget to look us up on Twitter at TC Podcast Crew. Now on to the show. Once again, to this little show I like to call the Traumatic Cinematic Show. I'm your host, Mugumbo, and with me tonight, folks, is something a little different. We're going to call this Season 3, possibly. We've done 2 seasons before. Season 1 would have been the Wicker Beard, or whatever, generation. Then we had Manifesto on for a little while, David Gibson. And then we went into an era, a time period with Dave DeMoss and Mike Wycliffe. And now we are into Season 3. A time that is me and just some random guests, maybe some hobos that I picked up downtown. Like on the way home, I was like, hey, I got some crack rocks for you. You want to talk about a movie? I don't know. We'll see. Tonight with me from Kamloops, Canada, from Reviews from the Basement. They came from the basement.
We came from the basement.
Jason Hewlett.
How's it going?
How's it going, sir?
It's doing awesome, brother. How are you doing?
Great. I'm doing great, sir. I'm thrilled to have you on. It's been a long time coming. We talked about many different shows or films before, and finally we found the opportunity to come together. Also with me tonight, folks, the man that was in the second half of Season 1, David Gibson, Manifesto.
Hey, what's up, folks? It's good to be back on, and I do expect that hand job, Lewis, for the show again.
Yeah. Well, it's you either get paid in hand jobs, hugs, or high fives. So, and I definitely suggest getting the high five before the hand job.
I'll stick with the high five as well. That's all fair and true.
Hopefully not after the hand job.
That's right. That would be a messy high five.
I'm guessing, my thought here is I'm trying to bring the traumatic back to the Traumatic Cinematic Show. Not that it's not been traumatic enough, but there's so many options out there. The internet, our new ways of consuming media has changed so much that there's just so much available to us now. We have the ability to see a short or to see a project birth and grow on things like Kickstarter or Indiegogo. You can contribute. You can put your donation or your opinion in with $20 or $100 or this, that, or another. Not that the film we're going to discuss tonight has anything to do with that, but it's just I don't know. Like Jason, have you seen this really change our cinematic landscape and choices?
Oh God, yeah. Even in the 4 years we've done our show, man, it's changed dramatically. Just the availability of anything, and it creates a risk of being like a flash in the pan. It's very easy to be kind of forgotten quickly as the next thing comes along, because everybody can do something now, right?
Right. I mean, no, it's literally the only thing that can hold you back is your inability to set up a respectable page on an Indiegogo or Kickstarter campaign to an extent, which is good and bad. But and we're not here to talk about the bad. We're here to talk about the good. And I just there's a project. It's like a couple projects I've been watching here lately that it's really been really exciting. And folks, the film we're talking about tonight is none other than dun dun dun. So the trailer for Frankenstein's Army does not look like. There we go. Way louder than we could ever want it. There we go.
The one on the right. Go.
It's not far. If we get a move on, we can be there by noon. Do you see anything?
Come on!
Let's move down to the church. What the hell is that? Don't touch it. Don't touch it. What are you?
Only the Nazis would think of something like this. Sewing dead people together. Giving them knives for hands. It's insane.
Simple mechanics, engineering. Each one is still alive. I need a little more! Works! You're insane! A man of vision is always misunderstood.
Wow, I just don't think that's going to turn out well for anybody. There's
At all.
that's just a whole lot of I never heard a moment of hope, except for at the beginning where I'm just hoping to hell it would play. So the thing that makes me when I think about this movie and what I've experienced watching this movie, and with a Kickstarter go kind of fan funded project, is I guess it's the shaky cam that it's hard for me. I understand and I don't understand why you would do such a thing, because at least what I had the opportunity to watch at my local video store was a very, very high def Blu-ray version of it, and it's beautiful, crisp, very high def, but it's shaky, and it's if you're gonna have it be shaky, because if you had the ability to shoot in this type of quality, it would have a auto stabilization sort of thing. I think it's lazy. Maybe not. What do you think, Jason?
Well, I think for some reason, and I think this is the film to me's only real weakness, is that they wanted to do that they're doing the found footage thing again, right? That we've just been bludgeoned to death with over the last 5-6 years. And yet this is in World War II, and I don't understand. They set up the reason why, but it doesn't add anything to the movie to do it this way. It should have just been done as a more traditional narrative.
I do too, because they had it all there. They had the ability to do good quality, the makeup, the effects, the monsters, and before we get into the craziness of all that spectacle, it is a crisp, clean movie when the dude sits the edge of the camera up against a tree for a second.
Yeah.
It's and it didn't ever really feel like they found this footage. I never really felt oh wow, they must have dug this out. Oh, there's another reel. They didn't, which I'm glad they didn't, because that would have taken even more away from it. Because there are moments where you forget about it. You
do, yeah. Because that's why I kind of said, why do they bother, right? Because in most of these movies, they have the one camera person, and there's always the guy talking about his need to keep filming. But in here, they never really did that. It's just like they kept passing the camera around from person to person, and you do forget after a while. It reminded me, in a way, kind of like, I guess, a Chronicle that way, where it was just like, why are you doing this? And then you're not making a better movie. It doesn't really make it any more intense or scary. So what's the point?
Manifesto. What are your thoughts there? Like, I know you've had your experiences with some shaky cam films.
I'm not anti shaky cam. There's a lot of POV films that I really do love, but I really do agree with Jason that there is really no reason to have this be a found footage because it works nowhere into the story, the narrative, or anything. It's never assumed that this footage is found. They never even make a big deal out of it. And without going into spoilers, the guy who's filming, they still never. There could have been many other reasons of why he was there in the situation other than making a documentary.
And who was carrying all the fucking batteries to keep this thing going? Right? Like I know I couldn't keep my cell phone recording this much footage, right? And it's got a lithium. It has a lithium ion battery in it from tomorrow. Like it's a futuristic battery for today. It's lithium ion. I don't even know what that is. It's like aliens apparently brought it to us, right? But they didn't have that at the end of World War II. Maybe Hitler had some sort, but they didn't.
They were Russian, so they didn't have anything like that.
It's still not that good.
And the film looks digital. The film doesn't even look like 16 millimeter or anything of that nature. So,
and I don't blame him for not wanting. Like I don't blame him for not wanting to do that. Like once you take that plunge, and I know like James Bickert did Dear God No. And Jason, I don't know if you've had the ability or the opportunity to see that gem of a film.
I have not, no, but I'll have to check it out.
Yes, you should, and get a hold of me later, and I'll help you steer you that direction. And I might have to have you back on. We might have to. You might really want to talk to me about that because I'm pretty close to that. I have like all three versions on VHS, Blu-ray, and DVD, and the Super Triple X. Anyways, if they would try to do this on 16 millimeter, the actual cost of film, it's ridiculous. It's so difficult. Just like if they were actually doing this in World War II, like it's unfeasible. Who was carrying all this film around this whole time, right?
There was, like I said, there was that big duffel bag full of film that they tossed at the guy at one point. But that's it.
That's okay, but you know what? Like that doesn't matter, does it?
No,
we're really dwelling on something that it's so insignificant.
But it's at the same time though that they hung it around that, right? So they even bothered to put the little flickery sound effect in. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed it was there for most of it, which kudos on them, but they didn't need to do it that way. It's not like watching Blair Witch Project or Paranormal Activity where that is the movie.
Right, and they were really like Blair Witch Project. They were really trying to sell that it was actually found.
That's right, and they did a brilliant job of it.
That marketing, one of the best marketing schemes.
And both of you gentlemen, awesome. if I remember right, through my social media head and through podcasts and from the past, you both are fans of Paranormal Activities movies.
I like the films. I'm kind of tired of them because they've beat it to death. But I thought, like especially the first one was great.
Manifesto, you too, aren't you?
I love the third. I think the last 15 minutes of the third film is some of the best in horror. I mean,
absolutely.
It made me uncomfortable, which very few films are able to do.
That's right.
It did. I will say the first two, whatever. Like it was trash. It was. I felt insulted. Third one really. It was a lot of waiting. And you know what? I have the extended edition Lord of the Rings box set, Blu-ray. The extra 9 hours of walking. So I can sit through some monotony, right? Like to get to a point. So I understand like waiting for the having a slow burn. But the 3 was what paid off. Like I've never traditionally liked those movies. It was Troll Hunter that really changed my opinion on even giving a shaky cam any sort of recognition that they can do any good, right? Or
I'll give you
not just shaky cam, but I'm sorry, like found footage, like modern day found footage.
Go see the Poughkeepsie tapes If you haven't
Yes.
seen that movie is insanely good. It's one of the best found footage films you'll ever see.
That movie fucked with my brain.
It's
Poughkeepsie
amazing.
tapes. What is just real quick? I'm not sure. I've heard of it, but I'm not. It's not ringing a bell there.
Asshole,
Dave.
I did do a write up on it on our own website.
Oh, what is the address to that there?
It tells you how much the fucker reads his own website.
Well, that was like forever ago. TraumaticCinematic.com, ladies and gentlemen, is what I had set up there for Manifesto to knock out of the park. So with some of these other found footage type films, Troll Hunter opened my eyes to the possibilities of it actually being workable. I understand why they would want the shaky cam with the monsters. They don't to make all these spectacular. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope this doesn't spoil it, but there's fantastically weird, obscure, bizarre, abstract monsters in this film. Yes, no.
Some of the best ever put on film.
I think the theory in the shaky cam in this film was the special effects were insane, but they were probably able to get away with a little more on the monsters, not having having
absolutely.
A little more
And that's my point is the fact that it's not that close up Jar Jar Binks quality of like how awesome our CGI is. The being able to have the camera pull away quickly here and there didn't make you dwell on the fact that a monster might not be as realistic looking as we might think if we were able to stare at it for a couple seconds.
Well, I think the huge deal with this movie is just the way it made you feel. It was very claustrophobic, and it was amazing. And I think maybe the camera work had a lot to do with the atmosphere that was coming from the film. So I'm guessing that was probably the medium they were trying to do. They didn't really work it into the movie, but the atmosphere of the movie was absolutely insane.
Because they found that great location with the old factory.
Oh, that's what I was thinking the whole time. I was like, I don't know where the hell they found this, but it was great.
It really was. And I'm guessing I've never made a film, but as a filmmaker, like when you're like going around just in general life, you keep those sorts of things like open, like your eyes are open to like this would be awesome for something, and you never forget about it.
As a filmmaker, they're always out you keep your eyes on anything you could shoot at some point, right?
Right.
And so
even standing outside of it.
I wouldn't doubt they had this before the idea, maybe, like the location, maybe.
Well, to be honest with you, we are like we're going to wrap up and take a break here in just a minute, but we're going to come back and just like you just said there, Jason, maybe they had some of this figured out before they actually had the movie.
Well, what blew me away is that no one has ever came up with this concept. It's so great. It's amazing that it hasn't been done 10 times before.
I don't know if nobody's ever come up with this concept. Not that I can put my finger on it, but if you give me a minute, maybe I can. It's awesome. It's fun. It's spectacular. But there's I don't know. Folks, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to get into who created this film. Richard Raaphorst, Raaphorst.
Richard Raaphorst, yes.
Raaphorst. Yes, I hate pronouncing names that I'm just not familiar with as far as that. And there's a reason that we're not terribly familiar with it, but we have seen his work plenty. We'll be right back, folks. Stay tuned. Hey, remember, you can find us at DramaticCinematic.com and at TC Podcast Crew. Hey, Jason, where can we find your stuff?
We came from thebasement.com.
It is dramatic, cinematic, dramatic, cinematic. You are dramatic, cinematic, and I'm leaving you a voicemail. Leaving you a voicemail, bitches. Ooh, yeah. Well, I like Terry Gilliam movies. Yeah, I like Terry Gilliam films. And And I wanted to tell you that I like that you like them too. Yeah, I wanted to tell you that I like that you like them too. You covered them on your show. Traumatic, cinematic, traumatic, cinematic. It is traumatic, cinematic, and I'm leaving you a voicemail, bitches. I saw 12 monkeys in the cinema. I've seen every single one of his films there since. Yeah. But I haven't seen the Holy Family, the little shorty made in Italy. I haven't seen it yet, oh, woe is me. Oh, woe is me. You are traumatic, cinematic, traumatic, cinematic.
Traumatic cinematic, bitches.
Check us out, traumaticcinematic.com. Hi, y'all. We're still here. We're recording about a podcast. We're doing a podcast, recording this thing, a little thing I call Traumatic Cinematic. I'm a gumbo, and with me is still Mr. Manifesto. From Manifesto, you are a northern southern boy, right? That's Jason, in case you didn't recognize, he has a Baltimore, South Carolina accent, right?
I'm a transplant.
It's the strangest mix of he's got, you can hear that kind of pinch of the Jerseyness of him.
Well, my dad's a New Yorker. My mom's from South Carolina.
And he's got that little twang at the bottom.
Yeah, totally. That's unique.
I'm Midwestern. I'm Indiana, right? So I'm right dead center, Midwest, Indianapolis, Indiana, Fishers, Indiana. So it might be. And I guess my accent's whatever it is. Which to you, Jason, you hear the differences in our voices.
For sure, absolutely.
Much different than we probably hear it because we're Americans.
And you are the same, right? Like,
well, and I've always had such respect for any Canadians that happen to be on the internet because I couldn't imagine how difficult it must be to type with mittens on all the time.
And it's funny you say that because I was just out feeding my sled dogs during the break.
How they doing? I bet one of them's name's Lucy, eh?
Oh, hey, you bet it, eh?
A couple Malamutes and some Huskies and some rigmaroles and
got to go spray down the igloo before it melts.
Oh, I know. Like, in the worst of all of them, I get so much shit because I always make the penguin reference, and it's always, those are not even from the Northern Hemisphere, you fucking bastard.
They're from Antarctica.
Yeah, like that's so stupid. It's infuriating. And that's why if I ever become like filthy rich, like Bill Gates or like the Wynn or like the Hiltons or like any, I am literally going to rescue a huge flock of penguins and I am going to put them in Canada. Like, and I'm going to breed them and they're going to become wild and they're just going to become part of the habitat. Like, and then I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be that guy that's like, yeah.
The funny thing is, honestly, like, it's 37 fucking degrees Celsius out right now, and I'm sweating my bag off.
I have no. What is that? Like 100? Is that like 100? What the fuck is Celsius? I don't even know. I don't even have that. I don't even have that on my keyboard.
80 or 90.
I don't even have. What is that? What is that? Like a C with a slash in it?
You Canadians and your fancy metric systems.
You know what? I can't.
Everybody, that's all.
Mr. Manifesto, I cannot stand behind that. As unfortunately my day job, I do have to do things that isn't reviewing and hanging out with famous people and gallivanting to convention, you know, doing this, that, or another. I have to like work on things. And I love metric sockets. I can't help it. Why do I want to do fractions? Why do I want to mess with quarter inch, eighth inch, 16th, 3/8? How about just it's not a 10 millimeter, it's an 11. Oh, genius! It's alien technology. if an 11 doesn't fit it and a 12's too big, or I'm sorry, if 11 doesn't fit it and a 13's too big, try a 12. Like, if a 3/8 doesn't fit it and a 7/16 doesn't fit it, then what do you go with? I don't know. Like, I'm so stupid. Then that's why people like put pistols in their mouths and pull the trigger.
That's right.
It's like mechanics.
Well,
there's more
people
mechanics
use
alive today than ever before, and that's because they don't have to do fractions to figure out which socket to use. So anyway, folks, we do talk about movies here every once in a while. It's easy not to spoil a movie when you don't talk about it.
That's right.
There is a certain amount of suaviness about that tactic, and I guess that comes from I don't know, like Jason and I here we've never actually spoken verbally. Manifesto
first,
and I
yes.
yes, this is a first, even though I've heard your voice plenty of times.
And likewise.
Thank you. Anyways, and Manifesto here, well, I've had him plenty of times. I popped his cherry long ago. And, there's something addictive about films and looking for that diamond in the rough, right?
Yes. Yes. That's all our show is all about in the basement.
I mean, I want to find that film that I just, that I have to have a copy or two of and just give to people. And there's been a couple big ones in my life that I just loved so much that I had to just tell everybody to watch. And especially, I love it when they're on Netflix. And Pontypool was one of the bigger ones, and it was available on Netflix.
Pontypool is genius, man.
It was one of those. I have some bouts of insomnia, right? And it was one of those. I woke up dead in the middle of the night, 3:30 in the morning, and I turn on Sundance or something like that, and it's on there. And I catch it from the beginning and had no expectations, had no idea, and I was blown away by it.
That's how this film is. This film we're speaking about, which again is Frankenstein's Army. I had heard nothing about it, and it's very rare that a movie comes along that I haven't heard anything about it to blow me away. I can't remember the last film that happened with.
This film does that. Frankenstein's Army, and that's kind of why I brought it up. It didn't blow me away with its clever writing, dialogue, or plot development. This movie was created, and we mentioned before we went to break, Richard Raaphorst, the director of this. He is, if you look at his IMDB page, his directorial contribution is basically this.
Yeah, it's his first real film, I think.
But he does conceptual artwork for all sorts of things. Seriously, here, what's going on here recently, conceptual artwork, and these are all he's either doing conceptual artwork or storyboard artist, or visualizer. Basically, he's visualizing and creating visual artistic representations of ideas. So he does Paris, I'll Kill You, which is in production, Line 32, The Rocketeer, New Kids Nitro, whatever that is, Waltzer, Silent Army, Slaughter Night, Black Book, Fragile, Rottweiler, Beyond Reanimator, conceptual artist, really
good movie.
Nice.
Notch Beachter. Jeez, it's German.
That sounds dirty.
Nachbijter.
I think that's a Scheiser film.
Dagon?
So.
I mean, have you seen Dagon? I love the movie.
Yes,
the film Dagon. He was a
was
conceptual
awesome.
artist
Yeah.
for Dagon. In 2000, conceptual artist for Faust.
Yeah.
Jackie Chan's Who Am I? Storyboard artist. So. No, is he the greatest artist in the world? Well, apparently not. But at the same time, he is an artist. I really believe he's had these creatures in his portfolio, in his ideas of stories or comic books or this. I have no idea if this is true. I'm making this up. But this is my thought, that he's had these creatures in his head or on paper in one way or another, and this was his chance to bring him to life, right?
I agree, man. Those are so unique, those monsters in this movie.
And they really are. If you want to boil it down and get all semantic about it, or they weren't even practical monsters. Like, why would you even put that sort of thing on that monster? Like, that doesn't even make sense, you know? It's not about making sense. It was about weirdness and oddballness and creepiness and taking a bucket of parts and trying to make something of whatever not.
Nightmarish is the word that comes to my mind.
Kapakahi, Hawaiian term, Kapakahi, or motley. Just a almost a cornucopia of like body parts and pieces.
If you go to the website for the film, there's actually a write up for a background on each of the monsters and a conceptual drawing, which is really fucking cool.
That's awesome.
But what it kind of reminded me of was like a 1990s Trent Reznor video gone horribly wrong.
Or Guar stage show.
You know what? Actually, what's funny? You say Guar stage show. I actually got to meet Odorous Ungress a few weekends ago.
Nice.
And got a picture near him. So, and and also like the wife.
Well, you were in the bushes, but you were near him.
Yes, but yeah, he was awesome. Like, actually, I got to see him out of his costume too. He's a really nice dude. Anyways, I don't know, Jason, do you ever play video games at all? Or did you used to, even like 5 years ago before you had a kid?
Yeah, from time to time. My wife's more the big video game player, but yeah, I've played, yeah.
Okay, so did you ever play Call of Duty Zombies?
I did not.
Like the zombies area, like you play Call of Duty, but it would have like the zombies function where you just went and it was like, it started off like level 1 and you just like, we're just shooting them with a pistol and then it kept getting a little bit more and faster and bigger. Okay. Yeah. Well, if you had ever played that, this movie really plays out just like that.
Mm-hmm. That was exactly what was in my brain, and I chatted with you about that.
It starts off just a little bit like you got like, oh, that one, like here, like what are you gonna do? Like pop, pop, pop. Oh, it's dead. Oh, that was weird. And then it's like it gets a little bit more. Then the side like. Once the sirens start going off, it's getting fucked up. Shit is hitting the fan. Walls are getting painted red.
That is how this was. The last 20 minutes of this movie, because it gets crazier and crazier, and the monsters get crazier. But that last bit, when you meet the doctor and everything,
and folks, basically at this point of the show, you need to ask yourself, do I want to be unspoiled? We can't promise that we won't ruin any of the story from this point on. Mm-hmm. We don't want you to turn it off.
The beautiful thing about this is it's such a visual film that we can't really spoil too much.
I honestly feel that way too. I could tell you the end, and it really like, not that you would feel that way. It's just it's all about the journey, really.
It is, and it is a journey, this movie, right? Like it takes you, it's almost like the trip down into the steps to hell kind of thing, and by the end of it, you're in hell.
And that's why, it was so it slapped me across the face when I saw that our gentleman here, Richard Raaphorst, was he's been a conceptual artist in so many other films. Well, yeah, like these are all the things everyone tells them. Like, oh, there's no fucking way we're putting that in there.
Hey, you're fucking.
There ain't no like no like. Are you serious? This is a kid's movie. This is like children. You can't have a pile of burning nuns in a children's story.
No, or like monster with propeller for a head that chops up small children.
And I was actually disappointed.
That's why I'm the director and you're the story.
I was really disappointed. I went to my favorite convention group of horror, like convention freaks, and of course it's Friday night, so they're all trying, like, out at the bars trying to get laid, all 19 of them. But I asked them, like, I wanted to hear their favorite scenes from other movies of nun exploitation, because like they had to throw that in there in the beginning, and that was one of those things. Like, I don't feel like it's a spoiler, but like I didn't realize until my second viewing of this, I was like, oh look, there's a pile of burning nuns.
Yep.
That's one of those little subtle things that, like, you just got to really pay attention to and realize, like, wow.
That's a pilot.
But I've seen much worse things than that. Like, that was like, they're just kind of funny. Especially since I didn't even notice it the first time.
Well, they had the mercy killing of the one nun.
Yes, they did.
Right. So, what what is it about a film like this that sets it apart from just a torture porn? I wouldn't even say Saw. I can't compare it to that.
This is nothing like those kind of movies.
It really kind of has become its own genre. I mean, I kind of have compared it to a steampunky just exploitation movie. Like it's kind of got that like Nazi exploitation steampunk kind of feel.
What I was getting was like the industrial Nazi exploitation mixed with the zombie genre, and it just worked beautifully together.
It definitely had the zombie aspect of it because the monsters keep on coming. But I think so in a way maybe it's kind of like a non-campy Dead Snow with monsters as opposed to zombies, right? And so but with a bit of dog soldiers thrown in too. You know what I mean? Like it's just
right.
At the same time, it's its own kind of movie. Like I've never seen a movie like this ever before, and I highly doubt I ever will. Unless they do a sequel, and I hope they don't, because I think that might ruin it.
Well, I think the reason that we all, and am I wrong? We all really kind of love this movie.
Oh, this movie's awesome.
But at the same time, do you think this is a great story? Do you think this is a solid, a told film from start to finish with a beginning, middle, end, and a proper story, character development type thing?
Not at all, but that's part of the charm of it. And it's more how it makes you feel. It's the fact it crosses so many lines and just becomes this more intense, disturbing trip without being overly grim. Yet it is.
It really shows you that a proper artistic touch can transcend past clever, tight, refined writing and banter, filler, famous influences or star power, bringing an audience in. This is a movie about creepy things that were all like every one of these monsters. This dude has, I guarantee you, he has a notebook for each one of these monsters already like filled out. Like he's had them for years. I just know it. And I didn't have time to like dig that deep, and I guess that'll be a follow-up thing. Like I'm going to dig deeper in this dude. Like I want to find out how long this is. Like, is this been something since childhood possibly?
Well, I think this movie is going to fall into the cult classic arena. It's probably like in 10 years, our kids are going to be watching this.
I think
oh, that's a fucking awesome movie.
I think in 2 or 3 years we're going to see, and for those of you that go to conventions, we're going to see people walking around in some of these monster costumes. They're gonna hand make these costumes down to like perfection, as close as possible, and they are going to be hitting the convention circuits as these crazy like with the diving helmet, monster, or the crawler dude, and that's really what like kind of slapped me across the face with the Call of Duty zombies.
You keep the crawler around?
Yeah, where you blow the crawler and you always keep it. Yeah, and they never killed the crawler. They kept them like crawler, like they didn't really mess with them.
No.
And that's what you did in Call of Duty. And it's that generation that made this movie. I'm just curious. It'd be really interesting for us to. And by the way, when I say it'd be really interesting, Richard Raaphorst, if you happen to be hearing this, or your agent, or your manager, or anybody that's happened to be connected to you, get a hold of us at traumaticcinematic.com or traumaticcinematic@gmail.com, and we can call a cell phone that you can throw away after we're done, whatever, and we will ask you some wonderful questions about this movie that's getting ready to take over the world.
That'd be a great interview.
That would be a great interview.
Because I really want to know like how much his artistic vision, like something else, and I hope this doesn't like terribly spoil it, but there's a like this like little glass cube that has a woman's head and a bear.
Yeah, it's just ill, man.
You know what? Like,
Something
what was
else.
that? Like he had created it as a pet, and which is funny because I actually bought this thing called a scare bear for my wife for her anniversary, and it was at the Days of the Dead convention, and it has like it's ripping its face off and it's all bloody and you can see its bone and everything. It's awesome, and it's a nice fuzzy bear. And then it also has a knife stabbing itself into its heart, and you see its chest all like opened up, and it is so ridiculously rad that like I saw that thing with the woman's head and the bear, and I was like, I want that.
Well, let me ask you guys, what was your favorite monster in the movie?
Well, I think I like the crawly guy with the blades on his hands and feet and the jaw that was like the drill. I thought that was wicked.
I think I just said it. My favorite is even though like she didn't do anything, but the woman's head and the bear, the little teddy bear and the human head was just that was one of those like I actually paused the TV and took a picture with my cell phone. like that's how cool I thought that was. Like, isn't that ridiculous? Like that's how I know that was my favorite monster, because I actually stopped it, like found the remote, like pulled it out, and like hit pause and like backed it up, like there it is. Like snap.
I'm with Jason because they call him the Mosquito Man.
Mosquito Man?
Yeah, he's just walking on like stilts or like blades. And
oh yeah, well he's on the cover too.
Drill in the space. It's just an awesome concept.
Oh, it was incredible. I love the bit where they're all distracted by those people they save at that one point, spoiler alert, and you could see the Mosquito Man just kind of drop in out of the ceiling in the background. Yeah. I thought that was wicked. It was so cool.
I actually, like creepy spoiler alert, but I love the train track or the coal miner kind of tracks with the carts of body parts, and like it really gave me that feeling, kind of like Monty Python's what was it, the Holy Grail, where like bring out your dead, bring out your dead. I'm not dead yet, like and he's like pushing him, and he's like the guy's like screaming, he's like oh, it was like he's not dead yet, like he will be. I just give him time. He will be. Oh, he's close enough.
Like and the first monster you run into, where it has to be, you can tell it's like his early experiment because it has to be connected directly to the electricity. Art doesn't do anything. That being the first monster you see was just it blew me out of my seat.
Same.
And still, we get deep into this movie, and I'm still asking myself, how is the battery still going in this thing? How is this thing still able to run? How is like?
Well, no,
I understand. Like
weak link.
That's the only thing that doesn't make sense about this is how the battery lasts that long, right? It is.
Well, they're Nazis.
This is like a visual orgasm for anybody that's into like gore porn, not like horror, like torture porn, like Saw kind of stuff, but just like they're such so steampunky looking mechanical humanoid machine blades and diving helmet weird things and gas masks, and it just I don't know, like it's hard to explain, like I don't know why I keep thinking steampunk, but like I do.
No, I can definitely see it.
Yeah.
And I love it. I really do. And I really hope that this becomes way bigger than they even intended.
Well, and the visuals are so good that you almost forget how good the sound effects. It really, I don't know. I started getting that Japanese feeling from the movie too, just from the sounds, and it was just really amazing.
Yes, it's a very well made movie in terms of the whole design of it, not just the visual, but the sound design and just the way it's paced and staged to kind of just get more fucked up as it goes along.
I mean, I absolutely, and I don't know if I can ever point out any non-traditional effects. Can you?
No, it's all practical. As far as I can tell, it was all done on camera.
I believe so too. I mean everything, and that's that's why I understand why the shaky cam is so important. It gives you that ability to catch a glimpse of the what the fuck, and then move away before you get a chance to like see the flaws in it, like
or the zipper up the costume or something like that.
Yeah, or just it. Yeah, like there's no reason to like. You got to draw a line somewhere. You can only take something so far, but they do a good job with it, and that's that's why like this is worth owning. I don't normally like rate things in that aspect. I don't know. I know, Jason, you guys would do what
good, the bad, and the ugly.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. And what would that scale be?
Well, the good is a movie that you would own and watch again. The bad is a movie that it's fine to watch once, but you're done with it. And ugly is something you want to put the movie in a microwave and put it on high and kill it. This movie for me is a good, easy, like without question.
Oh, this is. I guess it would be good plus because. Well, no, because not only would I want to own this, but I would actually, if I had the opportunity, buy a second copy to make sure that I could give to others.
Yeah, it's what people need to see.
That I want to be like, oh, you haven't seen. Well, you don't have time. Like, here, take this home. You better bring this back. But you're not gonna get my special edition.
Kill you.
And I hate toy collectors, but I would buy these toys.
Yeah, they would make awesome toys. They would also make awesome cosplayers too, like cosplayers, like dressing up as these at the conventions. I can't wait. I know they're going to do it. Like I've already been suggesting it to. I know it's weird, but I've actually kind of got in good with some monsters, some professional monsters. Anyway, so we'll see. Like when this thing hits the shelves, folks, you heard it here first, or second, or third. Yeah. So, any last thoughts, guys? Any last thoughts, Jason? What's coming up for you guys? Anything?
We're going to be back doing regular episodes in October over at WeCameFromTheBasement.com, starting with probably a couple a month. We haven't quite figured out what we're reviewing yet, but we're lining up some interviews, and we're going to keep doing the show to the best quality we've been doing it for the last 4 years. Just maybe not quite as frequently, once a week.
Excellent. Understood how the burdens of the weekly thing can really keep a fellow down. Mr. Manifesto, this is your first episode back. What did you think?
Hey, I missed it, man. Having this release, I just need it from my life being totally insane. So it feels good. Feels good to be back. Well, I'm glad you're back.
This was a ton of fun, Lewis. I'd love to come back anytime. This is a blast.
Yes, it is, and we are into a new frontier, and some things are going to change. Some will stay the same. Some will just alter into different stuff. So we'll see we'll see what the future brings. So we are in discussions about some different things, this, that, or another going on. So things to look forward to. All right, folks, that is a wrap. Remember, find us at traumaticcinematic.com. You can also tweet us at TC Podcast Crew. And find us on Facebook /Traumatic Cinematic. I'm on the internet.